I pledge allegiance and justice. Recommended motion to approve the revised June 9th, 2026 Board of Education meeting agenda as presented.
I'll make that recommendation.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Can we get the student board member to read our mission statement, please?
Our vision is for our students to grow into critical thinkers and lifelong learners with integrity, confidence, and compassion.
Our mission is to create an inclusive, welcoming, educational community where all students can find their purpose and achieve their goals.
Thank you. Dr. Spadaro, you have the RVEF.
Yes, thank you, President Peck, members of the board, and welcome community members to our June 9th Board of Education meeting. I first want to start off with actually recognizing board members tonight to start off our awards. All this time, the whole year you guys are giving out, recognizing students for their achievements. Now we're going to recognize some of our board members for their achievements this year. First award, I'd like to congratulate Ms. Carrie Cousins for earning the Level 1 Board Achievement Award under NYSSBA's Board Excellence Recognition Program. At this level, you qualify for a certificate of recognition. You strive continually to expand your governance, knowledge, and skills. And again, congratulations on your Board Achievement Award, Ms. Carrie Cousins. Our next recognition goes to Carolyn Peck for earning the Level 2 Board Excellence Award under NYSSBA's Board Excellence Recognition Program. At this level, you qualify for recognition on our board newspaper as well as a certificate of recognition. Again, this program acknowledges your strive to continually expand your knowledge and skills as a board member. Again, congratulations on your achievement, and we thank you for your service. Come on down. Our next recognition again goes to Ms. Carolyn Peck. I want to congratulate her for earning a Level 3 Board Mastery Award under NYSSBA's Board Excellence Recognition Program. Again, she'll be recognized on the onboard newspaper. She gets a certificate for a free one-day event, certificate of recognition, and a commercial portfolio. Again, congratulations on your achievement, Ms. Carolyn Peck, for earning the Level 3 Board Mastery Award. We are going to recognize our board members that are leaving and going to greener pastures, and they did a great job of serving as board members over these last few years. And we do the Rondout Valley Education Foundation sponsors a brick walk, and a brick will be put in their name right outside of the football stadium. And again, first I'm going to recognize Ms. Carolyn Peck for her service as a board member from 2020 to 2026, and she'll be awarded this brick of service. Our Next board member who served this time wisely is Mr. Dean Rylowitz. Again, Mr. Rylowitz will be recognized at the Brick Walk, sponsored by the Round Out Valley Education Foundation, and Mr. Rylowitz served on the board from 2024 to 2026. Let's give him a round of applause. And last board member we recognize, she's not in attendance tonight, but Ms. Pat Mioli. She served on the board from 2024 to 2026, and we thank her for her service. Next on the agenda is the recognition of our newly appointed principals. I'd like to first recognize, they're both here, Chris Stein. Chris Stein is going to be the new Kerr Hansen Elementary Principal. He brought his family here. He's going to come up and just say a few choice words. Mr. Stein, come on up. Welcome to the Gander family.
Good evening, everyone. So, first, I'd like to thank Superintendent Spadaro and the Board of Education for welcoming me to Round Out, and as he said, the Gander family. I'd also am very excited to kind of begin. I'm going to start meeting folks next week and this week, and get to know those who are at Kerr Hansen. Throughout my over decade long of leadership experience, one of the things I really always make sure to do is build positive relationships with the folks in the community, the teachers, the students, and of course the parents. Very much look forward to beginning that, and I've always strived to provide academic excellence and learning for all students. So very much looking forward to getting to know everyone in Kerr Hansen and beginning that mission there. Thank you.
And I have the privilege of introducing our new high school principal, Miss Anna Estep. She's already been and visited the high school, and let's welcome her to the Gander family.
Hi everyone. I want to start by thanking the Board of Education for appointing me and trusting me as the high school principal. And I also want to thank Dr. Spadaro as well. I'm looking forward to getting started in the high school and getting to know all of you, getting to know the community. And a little about me, I was a high school biology teacher, I was a department chair, and then I've been assistant principal for the last 5 years. And I'm currently working on my PhD in curriculum and instruction. I am looking forward to getting into the school, getting to know everybody, and creating an excellent experience for all of our high school students. Thank you.
Paul?
Go ahead.
Can I give a word of advice?
Yes, go ahead,
Just,
Mr. Mallett.
just so you guys know, and I made this mistake when I was an announcer here, I would say round out. So we got to make sure we say round out, because you're going to get a lot of action.
Ron. Thank you guys, and again, thank you for being here, and like I said, welcome to the Gander family. We're getting ready to fly with each other. Next on the agenda is Mr. Panic, and he's going to do our athletic Gander spotlight. Mr. Panic.
Thank you. Welcome, guys, principals. Welcome aboard. We're going to start with, back in the fall, this award came out after we did the awards for the at the board meeting, so I'd like to call up Coach Mead and Coach Maloney. I believe this is the first player we've had make first team All-State as a boys varsity soccer player, so Ola Shula, come on up. Congratulations. Coach has a certificate and a plaque for him. state representatives, not here tonight, but Hawkeye had a great tournament qualifying for the states. Unfortunately, he had a little rough start on Sunday, but he finished strong yesterday. He could not make it, neither could Coach Clinton, but I do want to send a tip of the cap to Coach Clinton, who's coached here many years, who's retiring this year, so we give him a quick round of applause. Next, congratulations goes to our girls indoor Section 9 champs, coached by Coach Ugolino, Coach Rogers, Coach Maloney, and Coach Oberly. So congratulations to them. Both indoor teams, boys and girls, were divisional champs. Congrats to all of our indoor track guys and girls. Moving on to the winning the sectionals and moving on to the states, were indoor track 4x800 girls, Madison Shanley, Greta Sutherland Roth, Gypsy Wish, and Lola Sherwood. Are you guys here? Come on up if you're here. Congrats, Madison. Our indoor track boys 4x400 team, Jacob Kraft, Owen Schaefer Cermini, Zach Mickelson, and Ethan Allen. Come on up, guys. Qualifying for indoor nationals were Hudson Paley in the triple jump. Come on up, Hudson. Logan Meyer, 60-meter dash. Is Logan here? No? Okay. Owen Schaefer Cermini, 1,600 meter. And Josh Friedlander, long jump. Moving on to the spring states. Qualifying last week was Robert McGrath in the high jump. Robert here. And Owen Schaefer Cermini in the steeplechase. Come on up, Owen. I wish both these guys good luck this Sunday up in Webster and Rochester, New York. Okay, outdoor nationals. Adrian Bush, high jump. Our girls 800 team, Shauna Whitaker, Audrey Denon, Samantha Sneller, and Madison Shanley. All right, before we go on to the boys, so we all give Coach Gullickson, who's been coaching here I don't know how many years, but she's done a hell of a job in the time I've been here in cross country and track. Can we give her a standing ovation for all her years? Thank you, Coach. I'm going to miss you. All right, moving on to the boys 800, Zach Mickelson, Asher Weisenberg, Logan Meyer, and Ethan Allen. All right, we had two Mahal Scholar athletes, Hudson Paley and Liz Hannigan. All right. Winter season, as they went through the indoor track, won both the league titles and the girls won the sectionals. Going on to spring, our softball team qualified for the sectionals with a 14-5 record. Congratulations to them. Maven Flamhaft qualified for Mahals and sectionals in tennis. Congrats to him. Our boys sectional, or our boys lacrosse team, unfortunately, they're in a bad situation because they're like one or two teams in their class. So they have to play the game early in the season. Unfortunately, that counts as their sectional game. And if the other team doesn't make it to 500, they don't get to play a sectional game, which I don't think is fair. But they're the Section 9 champs. So congratulations to our boys team. Last winter, Coach Mahosky came to me. He said, I got a really good lacrosse team. I don't know if I can beat two of the teams in D. I said, what if we move up to C? He goes, can we do that? I said, yes. I said, I'll petition to see if they won't let us. Luckily for us, there was 4 teams in our division, or in the other division, and 6 in ours. And they let us go to 5-5, and they took full advantage of it. So congratulations to the girls on winning the league title and the sectional title. I won't rub it in to Dr. Spadero that you beat his school twice, but congrats. All right, one last big award. I don't think Rondout's ever had one. I know I, as an athletic director, have never had this award, but I'd like to congrats Stella Greco. Come on up. She's probably the first high school Sports Illustrated. She's not here? Okay, well, congratulations to Stella anyways. It's quite an honor to earn the Sports Illustrated Player of the Week. Lacrosse guys, come on up. Guys and girls, we'll get a picture of all you guys. Squeeze right in the middle there with Dr. Fair.
Congratulations, you guys.
Boys, hold on a second. Slide in there, girls. Nice job, guys. Robert and Owen, good luck this weekend. If you guys want to take off, you can, or you can stick around for the board. It's up to you guys. All right, I'd like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I've got a department overview. The Round Valley Athletic Department provides quality sports programs to promote physical health, teamwork, and personal growth. Responsibilities are coordinating interscholastic sports programs, ensuring compliance with safety standards, promoting athletic participation among students, and supporting and mentoring coaches. We had a total of 323 modified students, 108 JV kids, and 517 kids participate on the varsity. What's that, Coach? Okay. All right. Where is she?
I don't think she'll.
Where is she? Shauna also made the indoor states. We missed that, so just so that everybody. Shauna, where are you? Did she? All right.
Yay!
Congrats to Shauna. All right, so fall sports. We offer cross-country boys and girls, field hockey, varsity, JV, modified, football, varsity, Mod A. Boys soccer, we have varsity, JV, modified, girls soccer, volleyball, boys golf, girls swim. In the winter, we have boys and girls basketball, varsity, JV, modified, wrestling, varsity, modified, indoor track, boys and girls. In the spring season, we've got baseball, softball, varsity, JV, modified. Tennis, just varsity. We do have some girls in mixed sports with our tennis team. Boys track, girls track, varsity and modified, and boys and girls lacrosse, varsity and Mod A. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but this year we had 21 varsity teams. We did not have any girls play golf this spring, but of the 21 teams, we had 16 qualify for scholar athlete teams. I know the high school principals love to hear that, so congrats, Jess, and it was a great job for us there. Some pictures of all the kids in the fall. Going on to the winter. Some kids battling out there. Picture of the indoor track boys and girls team when they won the league tournament. Moving on to spring sports. It was a great spring. It was nice to see the kids do as well as they did. And I'd like to thank all that volunteered and helped at the 2 track meets that we had here, especially with the concession stand and that for the halls and the sectionals. And I do want to tip my cap to all the firemen and the policemen and the ambulances that gave our kids a nice little escort into town. So if we give those guys a round of applause, we'd certainly appreciate when you do that. This year we picked up bocce for the unified kids in the fall. So now the kids have bocce in the fall, bowling in the winter, and basketball in the spring. And it's a ton of fun watching these kids participate. They love it, and it's great to watch, and it's great to see the other kids interact with them. So I thank everyone that helps out with the Unified. They do a great job, so thank you. Our programs are not just about the competition, they're about building lifelong skills and friendships. And building champions on and off the field. And it was a blast last Friday watching our girls compete, go back and forth with Lords and beat them. Moving on, we currently face a lot of challenges hiring qualified coaches for all seasons. While we're primarily focused on finding internal candidates, we may need to consider external options if necessary, and the process becomes more complex. All non-teacher coaches, including unpaid volunteer coaches, need to obtain a coaching license. Certified teachers and certified school personnel are exempt from this requirement. For any non-teacher coaching candidate, they are required to complete several courses and training programs. These include fingerprinting, first aid CPR courses, a concussion course, child abuse workshops, school violence workshop, DASA training, apply for a temporary coaching license, superintendent statement. Additionally, each external coach must cover approximately a fee of $300 to become eligible to coach at Rondout. This is a financial barrier that can discourage potential coaching candidates. Our goal is to support our athletic programs by addressing these issues. Strategies could involve increasing awareness about these requirements, encouraging qualified internal members to step forward as coaches, and raising community support may also be beneficial in overcoming these obstacles. As I said, scholar athletes, here's a list of all the teams that qualified, and the pictures on this are of Liz and Hudson last week when we went to the Wilwick Golf Course when the two kids were awarded their awards for scholar athletes from Rondout this year. One of the things I don't know if people understand that we do, we offer a AD internship class, and this all came to fruition back when I was AD at Waterloo. I had one of my best lacrosse players did not have enough credits to participate in the spring for lacrosse. So my principal came to me and he said, "Hey, Timmy doesn't have enough credits." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "He needs another class credit." I go, "What if I make up a class?" He goes, "Send me a syllabus and we'll see what we can do." So that's how it all started. Back in the day, I had to wash and fold towels for our fitness center because our community members used the towels when they went in to work out, and I was sick of folding and washing towels. So I took advantage and I've run with that since. So in addition to folding and washing towels, I've had the kids help me over the years in various tasks, equipment management, managing uniform inventories, checking daily sports schedules is huge, especially when you get into a wet spring and you're canceling ball games, you're moving umpires, you're moving buses, you're moving home and away, making sure the fields are lined. So it's good to have another set of eyes go over those. Filling the water jugs for big events, organizing supplies when they come in and the orders are here so that nothing gets lost. This program is an excellent way for students to get involved in the athletic department. Many of these students have gone on to succeed in college athletics, showcasing their commitment and talent. Their involvement not only supports our programs, but also equips them with the skills that contribute to their future. One of the things for me that's probably the more invaluable piece is the relationships I've built with these kids. And 9 out of 10 of them, when they come back, they'll swing by school and come in and visit Dina and I. And it's great to see them. And they actually even have a couple of them to come and work at my house and help me in yard work and stuff. So those are relationships that you just can't pass on. They're great opportunities. So I thank the kids and I love them for doing that. All right, joining the school sports offers several benefits. You got the physical fitness, teamwork, discipline, time management, social connections, confidence, self-esteem, leadership skills, stress relief, college opportunities. One of the things that I've asked the coaches that I think that we need to do a better job of is keeping track of our kids that go into college. And I was fortunate because a couple of the kids that I've coached here over the past couple of years have gone on, and I just want to mention a few of the kids. Sophia Schoonmaker at Albany. She won I think it was her freshman year, won an NCAA game in field hockey. Aaron Costin, what he's done over the past 4 years at Cortland, becoming probably one of their best players. I'm sure he'll be a Hall of Famer at SUNY Cortland, and he took the team to the NCAA tournament, and just a great player. Aiden Davenport went to Hobart, which is 5 miles from where I grew up. When I got out of college, Hobart folded their baseball program, and they just brought it back 4 years ago. And Aiden's third on the team in hitting this year, led the team to the NCAA tournament. It was neat to watch him play a few times this year. Gabe Schoonmaker, Riley and Lauren Schoonmaker. How cool is it for two sisters to be at college playing a team sport together? Julia Turner, Johnny Soy, Connor Solinsky. Just to mention some of the kids, and many of these kids have been AD interns for me, and I appreciate all those kids. I'd like to take a minute and thank Benny for sponsoring our Athletes of the Month, giving all those kids a free pizza. Paul, make sure you tell them I thanked them.
I get free pizza too.
I know. I see you there all the time. You must cost them a lot, by the way. Anyways, lastly, I want to give a huge thank you to my secretary, Mrs. DeGroat. She always makes sure everything looks perfect for us here. And then moving on, future opportunities. Our athletic program has experienced many successes, such as numerous league championships, individual accolades. Looking to the future, the athletic department plans to strengthen community partnerships and increase participation rates, ensuring a strong athletic landscape for all students. I want to thank you guys for your time.
Thanks, Coach Panic.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions for Coach Panic?
Sure. I don't mind starting. Thank you for this. Could you talk a little bit about the hiring process? So you mentioned that hiring coaches, you mentioned that as a challenge.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about like the timeline? Like when do you post, where, is there any thought to, or are you already partnering with college programs maybe to source, but just give us a sense of
The hard part here is where our location is and what we have here. And it's very difficult getting people from the outside to coach. As I said, it's expensive, first of all, and we're fortunate to have a few young kids step up and coach for us. Hiring teachers that want to coach is a huge thing, and that's something that I said to Doc Morgan years ago, I've said to Doc Spadaro, and I'll say to the new principals, we got to have teachers come in that coach, because that's a huge part. I mean, we've been lucky. A few of the guys that we got to come in were really good coaches this past year and the year before. But as far as community part goes, it's very, very difficult, because many people don't get into coaching that are just living here. It's not an area where you have an abundance of people that want to coach.
How can we help you develop coaches or hire coaches? Is there something that we can help you with to?
Add more teaching positions.
Thanks. I was just thinking, like, you know, obviously there's a lot of, you said it's costly for people.
It is.
A lot of service.
One of the good things that we do have is a lot of the kids that have gone away, they've come back and they all have an interest. And there's a lot of kids that have come back that are in the process of getting their phys ed degrees. You know that at your house too.
Yeah.
So hopefully as those kids come back and show an interest, we can reel them in. Because they're honestly going to be our biggest opportunities as those kids come home to get coaches that live here.
Is there anything internally that we can do, like to help you, like AED? I know you need CPR, first aid. Is all that taken in the house?
Yeah, we can take care of that. The problem is the expense. I mean, you take a kid that's a young kid, $300 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So when you gotta pay $300 up front to just be a volunteer coach, you're like, wait a minute, am I gonna spend $300 and I gotta go volunteer?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
So Ms. Palmer just asked, can we cover that? So one of the issues, I think, is we do that, and then all of a sudden they're gone and they go somewhere else. So
That is the tough part.
that's the tough part.
Yep.
Because when they're committing, they're always just committing for that one
For that
season.
season, yeah.
For that 1 year.
Yep,
And that's just standard.
yep.
Is that-
I hate microphones. Are there other things we can do to incentivize them to stay?
What do you mean incentive?
Like, maybe we're not covering the fee, but I don't know, could we be providing a stipend to coaches so that it's not just volunteer? I'm not sure.
Well, the coaches that we do hire, we do pay.
Okay.
And if they do want to volunteer, we'll take anybody that wants to volunteer as long as they're certified.
Another thought is it's great. I love that you have an internship program and that you're approaching this as a homegrown coaching program. I wonder if these are students who are interested in continuing to coach, could we be doing, this may be a question for you, could we be doing some targeted dual enrollment courses that support students in developing what they need to earn? I don't know what the degrees are, but there must be some sort of associate's degree to support a coaching career or something that they could be doing.
The problem you're talking there is coaching pays so little money that, we all want Joe Torre here, but that's not going to happen for the salaries that we pay for high school coaches. That's the difficult part. But it's just, we do the best with what we have. Coach Malik can speak for it, Coach Bogart.
I would just make sure that our phys ed teachers are coaching.
Correct.
So one of the things when I was coaching here, I recommended to all my kids, especially seniors that were going on to college, was if you had any anticipation of coaching at any time while you're in college, take your coaching classes. Because, somebody like me who was out of college and decided to go about coaching, the time to take these classes was not easy to do. So, we can stress that to seniors going out, like, hey, listen, you plan on living in the area or wherever you go, you go to college, you have an elective, you need to, an extra class, take your courses. It'll be much easier to do it then than try to do it later on down the road and plan on coaching.
The other thing we have is a shortage of officials. Like, for college kids, that's a great thing to make some money on the side, especially if they're not playing sports at college. Go pick up some games here or there, fall, winter, spring, whatever sport that you played in high school. There's a national shortage for officials. Both areas, coaching and officiating, there's a shortage today. So we do the best with what we have. People walk in our office and are like, hey, would you consider coaching this or that? And we twist their arms and don't let them out the door until they say yes. But we've been fortunate enough to cover all of our sports.
I just want to say too, one thing that, it changed when I first started as a volunteer coach here. You literally put your name down, your address.
Yep.
You had 2 references and, hey, you're a coach.
Yep.
The state has made it much harder for people to even do
Yes.
that, to volunteer their time. So, I know it looks like it may be us that require this. It's
Yeah.
not. It's the state, and they're sticklers on it. I mean,
Yes.
going through the process of getting my coaching license was pretty stressful, and it's a lot. So, it's changed, and it's
Yeah.
because of the state.
It drives Nancy nuts every season, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
But a lot of those trainings are now online, right? It's, there's a lot of them though, and
Yeah,
from a
it's
lot of different
time-consuming.
places. I don't know if you all have thought about, is there a way to make that easier for, is there a way to do that in-house where it could be hosted or something? I mean, I don't even know if that would be helpful. I'm just throwing
No.
that out as an idea. I know my son is a wrestler, so I'm a parent of a wrestler, and the coaches are not employees of the school.
Correct.
They're from the outside. They've also been doing it, I think, for a pretty long time.
Oh, they've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Those guys are great.
So I've had good experiences as a parent with someone who isn't necessarily a teacher in the school district. And I am just curious if you could talk a little bit about how you think about recruiting community members, just in terms of like, when do you post those positions? Is it seasonal? Is it the beginning of the school year?
Yeah, Nancy
just
usually
kind of what that looks like.
She usually posts each season a season ahead, so that a few months before the season starts, so that we got time to fill in from the year before. We know who's going to be gone and who's coming back.
And where do you post?
Right on the school website.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Do you also reach out, or like? Sorry.
I should use a microphone.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry about that. Is there any reach out that is happening that you've thought about besides just posting it on our website or on our social media? Are there any university programs or college programs? And or do we have an alumni list of students
See,
who graduated
the hard
college
part with the
and like in
university,
college?
the hard part with the university program is that those kids are going to come here to coach. They want a job. Like, they're not going to.
But if they're moving back, maybe it's, I don't know.
Yeah, we do the best we can.
I don't know.
Like, there's certain kids that if they're here, we're gonna grab them and coach. If they got their coaching certification and we got a position, we'll bring them in and have them coach. But it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. As you just reach out, over to the college. Hey, you guys got some kids for volleyball, and next thing you know, you got 3 volleyball coaches. It's not how it works. It's very difficult. Like, you got the expense of gas today. I mean, people don't consider that. Like, you're driving across the mountain, it's going to cost you some gas to get over and back, and
And then you have the tournaments, for a lot of sports on the weekends. That can be a lot of driving.
There's a lot that goes to it.
For sure. So
Unfortunately,
it's really more like alums that, or people in the community
People in the
that end up
community,
reaching out to you
yeah.
because
Yep.
they see a posting. Is
Yep,
how it works
absolutely.
currently.
and that's how we've gotten quite a few. Some of our other coaches over the 5 years I've been here, a lot of them have been some community members that started with our youth programs and worked their way up. So, whenever we get a chance to grab one, we grab one. So, anything else?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much.
All right, thanks
Coach
guys,
Manning.
and thanks for recognizing the kids. They had a great year. Thank you.
Congratulations to you and your whole team.
Thank you, Coach Manning. Great job with the athletic presentation. Next on the agenda is Superintendent Year in Review. And I just wanted to go over and highlight all of the premier things that took place in Rondout Valley School District this year. Again, our theme is, I wanted to articulate the vision and make sure the community understands what Premier is all about. And our focus is we want to become a world premier school district where our students are future ready and productive citizens, and we want to create a culture that fosters collaboration and innovation, and our hashtag is Premier Rondout Valley. And how do we get to become a premier school district? Well, our formula for success is if we have premier people, that will lead into premier schools, and the more premier schools we have throughout the district, that'll lead to a premier school district. I want to highlight some premier examples that we did and recognize these accolades. Ecker Hansen, premier to me is they had Earth Day activities, they did Peaceful School Bus, they do No Place for Hate, Gender Assembly. I got to have the privilege of attending at Marbletown. They did Stream Night, Glow Theme, the Nutty Scientist Showcase. We had significant growth in A reading and A math at Marbletown. The intermediate school, they had that Wingman Peer Mentorship Program. Students were rated outstanding, solo musical festival. They had an author and an illustrator duo visit. At the junior high school, we had a colonial fair, project-based learning take place throughout the school where students actually came and asked the intermediate school kids came to the library and asked the junior high school kids about their projects. Really cool project-based learning going on. Students again were rated outstanding, solo musical festival at junior high school with a 64% decrease in disciplinary referrals and an increase in positive referrals, changing that culture at the junior high. The high school, we had an 89% passage rate with our ELA regents. The Learning Expo, that's tied to that portrait of a graduate, bringing in community members to partake in the learning experience. We had a 70% increase in students' sense of belonging. The district office rolled out a Tier 1 ELA curriculum this year. K-12 art show at the high school was magnificent. Art just plastered all over the high school, a big showing. And then again, we just had a challenging budget, and our community came together with 73% of the community passing our budget for this year. So this is what Premier is all about. This is what all the highlights we've done this year, and we want to continue making memories and growing these examples into 26, 27. Again, our goals are aligned with our board goals. Student safety is our number one, student and staff safety is our number one priority, and implementing conduct with fidelity. We're monitoring our students with digital oversight with our Smart Pass and our Go Guardian Beacon systems. And then we're hoping that the board approves our new SEL curriculum this evening and implementing it for the 26-27 school year. Again, we're focused on developing the whole child here at Rondout. Academic excellence, our reality right now, where 46% of our students are meeting proficiency in ELA. It's not where we want to be, but it's a 13% increase from last year. And hopefully our goal this year, when I present this again at my next superintendent's conference day, when we welcome everyone back, is that we reach our goal of 51% of our students meeting proficiency on the grades 3 through 8, 26 ELA state assessment. We also have a math goal for academic excellence. 48% of our students are currently meeting the expectation in math, but not where we want to be, but again, that's an 11% increase from last year. And then our goal for this year is hopefully 53% of our students will meet proficiency on the math 26 assessment. And then we want to be fiscally responsible, our third goal. Again, oversee the district budget. Proud to say we were fiscally responsible. Our budget only went up 2% this year. My first year went up 2.34%, I believe. This year we got it down to 2%. So that's going to be a priority moving forward. We want to, again, we want to be fiscally responsible to our taxpayers, but yet we also want to offer these innovative and creative programs for our students as well too. Again, we know we're going to anticipate a budget gap next year for 27-28, but we're already starting to be proactive about that messaging, and we already implementing some strategies and programs to close that gap. We're eliminating administrative substitutes for 27-28, reducing non-instructional substitutes. We're reducing our instructional substitutes and really taking a hard look at how we're using our professional days. We're reducing athletic chaperones. We reconfigured our middle school, so we have one principal now over the school. We applied for a school violent prevention grant. We're hoping to receive $450,000 from that grant to help with our security measures. We're going after an energy performance contract that hopefully would save us millions in the future. We put out an RFP for a health insurance broker to really take a deep dive on our health insurance costs. We've approved 3+1 to optimize our investment earnings with all of our reserves that we have to maximize those earnings. We're speaking with our assemblymen, and I have a meeting with Assemblyman Marr tomorrow to come up with ways and how to increase revenue for Rondout. And we're reducing district office positions. We heard the community. The community said during the budget crisis, Rondout looks like they're top heavy. And we listened to you. We got that feedback, and we came up with creative ways to be fiscally responsible. And one of those creative ways is we had two reductions in our district office. We're leaving vacant the director of curriculum, and we're anticipating leaving vacant an assistant superintendent for PPS. And this is I'm going to explain kind of how we're dividing and conquering those job responsibilities. So you can see the current job responsibilities on the screen. My eyes aren't the best anymore. So you can see the current job responsibilities, and this is how we're dividing up the assistant super PPS. The superintendent, myself, I'm going to be taking on more work. I'm going to be chairing the DEI committee. I'm going to be providing oversight with litigation, mediations, impartial hearings, teacher evaluations, and tenure. Our assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, Ms. Hargis, she'll be overseeing special education. Section 504, AIS, MTSS, RTI, foster care, and she'll be our homeless liaison. She'll be supervising UPK. She'll coordinate district-wide professional development for special education intervention services. She'll be serving on the negotiating team and supports collective bargaining strategies. She'll supervise special education coordinators, and she'll supervise the PPS office staff. With this opportunity, we created and the board approved a new position, what's a part-time position for the special education coordinator, this person will be supporting the special ed coordinator, but we have 2 special ed coordinators in the PPS office, and they're going to be taking on more job responsibilities as well. They're going to be supervising the school psychologists, the related service providers, the crisis counselors, the teaching assistants. They're going to facilitate district committees, including the special ed, parent advisory committee, and mental health committee. They're going to facilitate Special Olympics. They're going to advise the principal for student supports. They're going to act as the district-wide crisis liaison and coordinate crisis response systems. And they're going to facilitate department meetings. So we have 2, currently right now, we have 2 special ed coordinators in the PPS office, and we wanted their input. They said, yes, we're ready to step it up, because these are administrators, and these 2 administrators don't have any supervisory responsibilities. So we wanted to give them some of these supervisory responsibilities. What we did create was a special assistant to the assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction. And this person is going to support the special ed coordinators. Their job is to support them. So they're going to ensure compliance with state and federal special education regulations and reporting requirements. They're going to support our SPED coordinators with students, psychologists, related service providers, and support staff. They're going to help with ESY, K through 12, and summer programming. They're going to conduct manifestation determination review meetings, and they'll attend BOCES and state meetings. So again, this position was created to support the CSE chairs. Ms. Hargis will be the one supervising the CSE chairs and the office staff, and then this person is going to come in and help with compliance and help them if we have, a sticky issue with special ed or at a CSE meeting. This person is going to be the expert and be that compliance person to make sure we're in compliance with all of our IEPs. The assistant super for business services, she will be taking on the Medicaid reimbursement, and she'll help manage the special ed intervention services and health services budgets. The director of athletics, Mr. Coach Panic, he'll be supervising the nurses and overseeing unified sports. And then our director of data, Mr. Dannon, he's already supervised the school counselors. We're going to give him that job responsibility back. So again, this created an opportunity to be creative, to be innovative. We want to make sure the students get the services they need, but also what we did with this savings is we put a position back into the schools. We've listened to the community, make sure you protect student-facing positions, and what we've done by the savings with this resignation is we're using that extra funding and we're hiring a leave replacement at the middle school. When we had to collapse one of those positions due to attrition, class sizes went from 19 to 24. With the creation of this position and reorganizing our PPS department, this created a student-facing position, a teaching position, and now fifth grade will have 6 sections of teachers instead of 5, which will lower those class sizes down to where they were this year. And again, we're like I said, we're premier, we're doing great things, and my message to the district is, let's be transformative. We're all leaders. They lead students every day. They're with students, and my message to them was, let's focus on being transformative, have a long-term impact on our students, on our community, on our organization, and let's not be transactional, just looking for quick, short-term fixes. Transformative leadership, transformative people, they foster innovation, they inspire people, they're collaborative, they come to the table, they brainstorm, they're a big think tank, and we came to the table. This was an opportunity, and we thought outside the box, and we're like, how can we be fiscally responsible, listen to the community, not be top-heavy, put more student-facing positions into the schools, and we feel like this is a great plan to try to execute this for the 27-28 school year. Strategic planning for the next 5 years. We did contract with Reach Education Solutions. They did come in and give us some feedback as to what we should focus on over the next 5 years Key highlights, students feel safe and supported. We have welcoming school environments. We have a dedicated staff. We clarify portrait of a graduate. We feel like we're on the right track, moving in that direction, what the state's moving to. Staff want students to elevate student outcomes. It's great. They're just not satisfied with students getting an 80 or an 82. They want to maximize their potential and promote their strengths, which was key for their visit. Challenges identified. Again, we do have the growing student behavior challenges, but again, we're focusing on the whole child and making sure we have a Tier 1 SEL curriculum for next year. Professional learning gaps. Again, that focuses on our instructional practices. We still are giving professional development on UDL, Unique Design for Learning. That's our instructional framework to see what our classrooms look like, sound like, and feel like in the next 5 years. Cohesive systems addressing SEL and trauma, and aligning initiatives, professional learning, and district-wide expectations is some of the challenges they identified with their visit. So next steps, strategic visioning. We're meeting to discuss the vision, the mission. We have some rough ideas about that. We're still working on that. We'll continue to be working on that this summer with our guiding statements. Timeline development, we're going to create a timeline for each mission and component there. Accountability alignment, we're going to identify strategies ensuring all schools have greater consistency with all accountability groups. We're going to do all this work this summer. We're going to bring all of our school-based leadership teams in, the principals, their teams. We're going to go over our strategic plan over the next 5 years. We're going to get their input. They're going to develop their strategic goals, their building level goals from our strategic plan. So we have a good unified system moving in place the next 5 years. And it's all going to focus on this. It's all going to focus on portrait of a graduate. When students enter our system and leave our system, they have these 6 skills. They're academically prepared, they're a creative innovator, a critical thinker, an effective communicator, they're global citizens when they leave Rondout, and they're reflective, and they're ready for their futures. That's going to be our focus over the next 5 years, making sure the students have these skills. That's the state's focus. Again, the county's focus with Ulster County is really shifting to deeper learning, going from traditional chalk and talk to where students are now the architects of their futures. We're giving students choice and voice on how they're learning that content. And we're already ahead of the game. We have a lot of things going on for Portrait of a Graduate. Like I talked about earlier, UDL, Unique Design for Learning. We have IST, SRT teams in place, systems in place to make sure that the students are getting what they need if they're needing some Tier 1 or Tier 2 supports. The Writing Revolution, our writing program, project-based learning with our WISE program, where students do presentations, which is an effective program that's happening. Our Future Farmers of America, again, Coke aligns with Project Portrait of a Graduate. Science research, myself, Ms. Hargis, we attended that the other night, and we were blown away on this 3-year commitment that these students do. The presentations and the research that these students do, it was mind-boggling what these students, they are definitely going to be prepared for the future going through that type of rigorous coursework. We have the Seal of Biliteracy, again rigorous, a Seal of Civic Readiness, we have the Newcomers Uplifted program here at the high school. And again, our focus, we're going to make an instructional shift. We're going to make that shift from content to make sure students have skills. If students have these skills, they can master any content that's thrown at them. So we're going to be focusing on these skills, make sure these students have these skills when they enter our system and when they leave our system, that they're going to be college and career ready. So that is kind of how I want to articulate our vision across the community for the next 5 years. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Very good.
Any of our board members have questions? Carrie?
Good question. So regarding the position you talked about, so the Assistant Superintendent of Student Services, I really appreciate how you thought about all of the different responsibilities, and it seems like they'll be shared among a number of different roles. I still feel a little, it's the first time we're doing this, right? And I don't know how it will go, and I just wonder, can you talk a little bit about how you'll evaluate this plan for next year, and whether it's working? and all of the like it's a lot of responsibilities, and that they're all getting done.
Sure, yeah, this isn't the end all be all. We're going to try it. I said it's 1 year plan. We're going to try it and see if it works. If we're successful, we're going to keep going with it. If we're not successful and students aren't getting what they need, and there are compliance issues and issues with students not receiving the services that are in their IEPs or 504s, we're going to back up and fund and go a different route. But we're going to try this. Again, we listened to the community. We listened to what they said of trying to eliminate district office positions and try to save positions that are student facing. And this was I think an opportunity for us to take advantage of that.
Any other questions for Dr. Spadaro? Okay.
Thank you, board members. Next on the agenda is Ms. Hargis, and she has a presentation of our new SEL curriculum.
Hi, everybody. I'm here on behalf of Meg Guerrero. She could not make it tonight. What we did this year at your request was really look at a social emotional curriculum that we could use K-12. As you could hear from Dr. Spadaro, that was something we needed to work on for this year. That information came from the climate survey. We determined that that was a need across the district. So what she did is she followed the exact same plan we did when we adopted math and the ELA curriculum. So I'm going to start by going over what happened during that process. So when we ran the adoption process, the first thing she did was create a committee, K-12 committee. It informed who should be on the committee as far as the mental health people in each building, and multiple teachers that volunteered to be on this committee. They chose multiple social emotional curriculums to look at, and then they tried to drill that down. They did have a demo day, similar to what we did for the ELA and the math. Curriculum providers presented on their programs. The finalists are Character Strong and Everyday Speech. Everyday Speech was also a pilot in the schools prior to starting this committee search. It was something that was already being used by the social workers, and they really liked that. So we knew that that was going to be one of the choices. Once they started going through the committee work, they found that Character Strong was the stronger of the two. And the reason for that was that vertical articulation. They're really looking for something K-12 that we could use across all our schools and all our grade levels, where they felt that Everyday Speech was more at an elementary level. So our final selection is Character Strong. What we're looking to do is get Board of Education approval tonight, and then we will contract with Nassau BOCES and do a cross contract. The cost of this is about $26,000. So I do want to talk a little bit about what this K-12 curriculum will do for our students, and I kind of want to start with the idea of that climate survey. Some things that we really felt we needed was an explicit instruction that happens during the day with the students. This will be provided by our mental health professionals, whether it's our counselors, our social workers, or our psychologists. We're also hoping that teachers will buy in as well and take some initiative, but we know at the initial rollout, it will be delivered by our mental health professionals. Some of the things that we feel that are really needed are emotional regulation and relationship skills, responsible decision-making, and leadership and character development. So we feel like this program will give that. I did leave in front of you at your tables a huge scope and sequence, elementary, middle, and high school. You can see that there are a plethora of units and lessons that this curriculum provides, almost too much. So what we'll have to decide next is how this will be implemented. So at the elementary level, it's a little bit easier. If we run an A through F schedule, which we plan on doing for next year, the mental health teams will be able to push into classrooms. We're hoping this doesn't take too much time from core instruction, as we recognize that is a concern. So with the integration into the existing classrooms, they could do it during the morning meetings, community circles, during their classroom culture time. They could also do this during a library pull-out or push-in. That's another time during the day that might be available. We also have some enrichment time built in with the A through F schedule, so that might be another time. So for instance, kindergarten might have their SEL curriculum on every A day, where the social worker pushes into a kindergarten classroom. That could be one example. At the middle school, grades 4 through 8, we are still working on our master schedules. So some possible ways of implementing this into the classroom could be through our enrichment classes that we have. We have more enrichment at the 4th and 5th grade levels than we do at the 6th grade, but we're trying to build upon that. Again, that work is really still ongoing. We were supposed to work today some more on the master schedule, but we got pulled away for class lists. But we're going to continue to work on that. But we're also looking at monthly character lessons and then classroom integration partnerships. So for example, Kevin O'Shea is our technology teacher. He also teaches much more than technology. He provides a lot of enrichment in this area. These lessons could be provided, he could be providing these lessons to our students. At the high school level, again, we're still working on that master schedule, but some possible implementation ideas are through health, using our counselors, social worker, and psychologists. PE, we do have mindfulness in PE, so we use Title I funds to have Sean Harris come in. So this might be another idea as far as getting students in PE the services that they need and giving this instruction. And then the other idea is that, or if there's any other enrichment opportunities. So that's something we're still working on. You'll see from the curriculum guide that I gave you, not only does this cover social emotional learning, they also offer some career readiness lessons. So that's something that we thought was interesting, especially with our Portrait of a Graduate. So for next year, the goal is to have professional development for all staff. We'll have building level implementation plans. I'm expecting that this will be a goal for each of our buildings in their SIP plans. We'll also have it integrated into the master schedules. We will offer family communication and resources. And again, we're really looking for a consistent K-12 language across the board when it comes to social emotional learning. And then the last thing, as requested by the curriculum committee we met last week, was we really need some ongoing feedback, not only from the teachers and our building level principals, but the students as well. So what we're proposing is that we try this out for a year. If it doesn't work, we can come back to the table and try something else. But we would really like to give it a shot. One of the things I noticed today when I was sitting with the teachers to do the master scheduling and we were talking about students and making balanced classes is that there is a significant need for students to have social emotional instruction. We're really seeing a need for students to come to school ready to learn. And to do that, we really need to implement this curriculum. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Any questions? Chris?
I asked a lot of questions the other night at curriculum committee, which is why we have this presentation, because I wanted you all to be able to see. I mean, I shared my concerns, one, that Meg has been leading this and she's leaving, so just in terms of the support, one of my other concerns was asking teachers to, introducing a new curriculum for teachers when they've been asked to introduce 2 new curriculums in the past 2 years, but as Natalie shared here, and from my understanding, they will, aside, at least at the elementary level, they will not be responsible for delivering SEL instruction. Beyond, we all know that they do so much SEL instruction all day long, but they won't be delivering these lessons. Is that right?
That is correct.
I just wondered if this was replacing something that we already have, or is this something that's additional?
We do not have one social emotional curriculum. At this time, people obviously use things that they find on their own, but it's a lot of created in-house or by building.
But
So this would provide.
we don't have one across the district, is
Correct.
what you're saying, right?
Yes.
We do have other curriculums.
We have
do
multiple
use it, right?
things that we use, yes.
Everyday speech is currently used in both elementary schools? or
Both
just-
elementaries, but it's not consistent across each grade and doesn't touch every student.
Mhm. What other
Is
questions?
restorative justice work, is that just a completely separate piece? This would replace that in some way?
They would not replace it.
Chris, you have a question?
Maybe a recommendation, but maybe I'm off base. I'm assuming now that we have this, we will also then go back and revisit our climate survey questions and make sure they align with kind of some of the content. And let me just give you an example.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, maybe I'm off base, but when I look at the elementary curriculum, there's no mention of bullying, it doesn't seem like whatsoever here. That doesn't seem to start until 6th grade, those specific topics.
I think there was another section to the elementary. I'll have to get back to you, Chris, on that. But
Okay.
there was a section on bullying. It kind of is interwoven throughout this entire, there's so many things. I didn't give you all
Yeah.
of the copies that I could have printed.
Thank you, Natalie. And I guess one thing to maybe keep in mind, because I've heard it from teachers who
Yes.
have given the climate survey, that they have 3rd graders saying, what is bullying? And they don't really know the true definition of bullying. So to ask them to answer a question that maybe isn't clear, that's what I was just suggesting maybe you all look into kind of the wording of those questions and aligning it a little bit with the curriculum.
Great suggestion. Love it.
Any other questions for Natalie?
Will we be pulling in outside resources to also help with the development, the professional development, or?
So they'll provide it. There's 2 days of training that we can already set up right at the beginning of the school year we have our superintendent's conference days already on the calendar. So we're going to start the school year off right, making sure everybody gets the training.
Right, then you have additional professional days, right?
Yes.
During the first semester?
Correct.
That you'll be able to, because it's important to get off to a good start at the beginning and to get this material out to the teachers.
Yes, we'll definitely have to do some progress monitoring along the way to make sure it's working. And one of the big things was to really get student feedback too, to see what they think of this program. Well, it has been piloted and we did get some feedback, but let's make it a little more global. Student voice is important, so we want to make sure we add that in.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Ms.
welcome.
Burgess. Yep, thank you.
Next on the agenda is SCL curriculum character strong adoption. Recommend motion that the Board of Education adopt the SCL curriculum character strong as presented.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Good. I was just saying, I wish I wasn't the only person from the curriculum committee here, but I think one of... Oh, Nicole, you're here! One of the concerns I have is just about the elementary school that are using things that they like and whether there could be any discretion for the principals around what they implement. I don't know if that's something you can answer. I know we're really working towards a K-12 curriculum, but I do really want to be mindful of how much we've asked people to take on in the past couple of years and not burden them with, you know.
We still have we are purchasing some licenses for everyday speech, so if there's a time and place there's resources there that's needed, maybe that those lessons are more aligned to what, you know, the focus is for that month or that unit, but we still, the goal is to have it systemic, but we still will have a few licenses left because I know the elementary schools did pilot that program the last year.
Nicole?
So it's not, oh, Nicole.
Oh no. Can you guys?
Hold on, Chris is turning it up.
Put the microphone down.
Okay, try now.
Try now.
Say something.
Hello?
Yeah.
I was just wanting to make sure that our resources, while this is a resource, are our teachers and teams going to be mapping the curriculum? No?
It's already mapped, right?
Pretty much, it goes in sequential.
It's already mapped. It comes mapped already, Nicole. It already comes in sequential order as to like what units they're teaching. You know, when they're introducing the SCL curriculum. It's in order. It's in sequential order. They don't have to plan. It's not a heavy lift for the teachers. Everything's created for them. They just have to deliver.
That there's a lot of resources, maybe too much, and if we are going to like make it our own, are our teams going to be having the ability to come together and look at it and pull what they want from it, or is that a piece that are not necessary?
I think that would be the goal. Again, this is our trial year. It's like what Ms. Harder just said. We're going to try it. It's a 1-year commitment. It's not like I said, it's not a heavy lift for our staff. It's not too costly. We're going to try and see. It's resources. It's tier 1. It's a tier 1 curriculum, an SCL curriculum, and abundance of resources for our staff to go and get, which they don't have to hunt and go and look for lessons and resources. All of this will be there for them.
So just to connect, Dimity, to what you were saying, so is everyday speech the only other curriculum, do we know, that teachers are using, or are there a lot of different ones?
If you're looking for curriculum, you can find it online. Do you know what I mean? You can find lessons online.
And maybe teachers might be looking for something specific because something is coming up, and that can still continue if teachers want to do that. So, and everyday speech will still be available next year for teachers that are using it?
Not holistically. It's going to be scaled down a little bit. We are going to have some licenses available for it, but we really want this to be implemented with fidelity so we can get feedback, input as to should we continue with this tier 1 curriculum, this SCL curriculum, in the years to come.
And I think you said for the elementary schools, it's like a push-in situation. It's not the teachers that are delivering it, but it's folks, other roles in the school that
Correct.
are
They'll be pushing, but they'll also, like Ms. Harger said, they're always teaching us. They're always teaching, social skills, people skills, soft skills,
Right.
And if maybe during snack time they have an opportunity to do a quick lesson. If they see something going on in the classroom, like how to establish friendships or how to be respectful,
So even though it's being pushed in, it sounds like they're saying that they'll still have some discretion.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Just a question I have about this particular curriculum, just from what I saw, a lot of the lessons they're not like self-paced online, but they do have slides or videos, and I know that families are concerned about the amount of screen time that students have in school. Can you speak to that in terms of how are we equipping counselors to deliver these lessons as people, like in a group versus on a slide deck?
Yeah, sure. And I'm hoping there's opportunities with the curriculum that they can do hands-on tactile lessons, they can do group work, collaborative work. Maybe instead of doing the drill, again, we want this aligned with UDL, our Universal Design for Learning, and how we structure and how we deliver lessons. And we're hoping teachers will select lessons that are aligned with our instructional framework. Hands-on, tactile, collaborative, creative, innovative. Hopefully everything that aligns with Portrait of a Graduate, those are the lessons that they should be selecting and implementing.
And when you say teachers, you mean counselors? You mean counselors, right? Because they're the ones who will be delivering this.
Correct,
Although,
but there's also some in the middle, like
right,
in the middle school,
high
there'll be some teachers.
Yeah, one of the other things I'm thinking about is the new requirements from the state around the financial literacy education. And it seems like we're trying to slot this into courses that they're not a catch-all, but it feels a little bit like that. Like this is an enrichment course where there's more flexibility, so we can slot this into that. And I'm worried about that. Like, would that happen with the financial literacy requirements as well? Would this get the shaft? Like, how are we thinking about all of these requirements coming from the state?
Yeah, that's a good point. Again, it's just we're gonna look, we're gonna try, we're gonna progress monitor. That's a big thing. I mean, you know, we looked when we rolled out our Envisions Math new curriculum last year and our new ELA curriculum this year with Amplify. You know, we're monitoring, we're adjusting, we're looking, we're getting feedback from teachers, and we'll do the same thing on how we're implementing this curriculum. I think Ms. Hargis and her team does a great job of you know, delivering and researching and getting feedback and what works, what doesn't work, and I think we're going to do the same. We're going to have the same mentality delivering this Tier 1 curriculum as well.
Can I request that at our next meeting, or at least a meeting prior to the start of the school year, that we have like a very clear implementation plan for this, as well as a clear progress monitoring plan? Like, I'd love to see, I know we say progress monitoring a lot and that we get feedback, but I would like to know how specifically we're doing that, how frequently, how we're surveying students, teachers, families, because there's family resources as well, right, for this that we're planning to share.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else from you, Nicole? If you're there. She got pulled over.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next on the agenda is the abolishment of positions. Recommended motion that the Rondat Valley Central School District experience a financial crisis due to multiple factors, including the rise in costs of health insurance, a declining student population, increasing expenses, and meeting the priority needs of the district for the 26-27 academic year. And whereas the district, in addressing the fiscal health of the district, determined that it was overstaffed, and as of the close of business on June 30th, 2026, the board desires to permanently abolish and eliminate some positions. And if a position or similar position is necessary in the future, the board will establish that position at the time. The board, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby abolishes and eliminates the following positions effective at the close of business on June 30th, 2026. A full-time behavior analyst, a .3 business teacher, and a .4 speech teacher, and that the superintendent of schools carries out the above abolishment and elimination of positions as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Abolishment of positions, preferred eligibility list. Recommend a motion that the district, in addressing the financial health of the district, were determined that it was overstaffed, and the district has abolished and eliminated positions effective at the close of business on June 30th, 2026. The district wishes to thank the individuals affected by the abolishment and elimination of positions for their service to the district. The decision was based upon the economic needs of the district and is not necessarily a reflection of their contributions. Now that the board, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby lays off and places on the preferred eligibility list the following individuals effective at the close of business day of June 30th, 2026, as presented.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consultant services agreement with CPL Architects. Recommend a motion that the Board of Education approve the consultant services agreement between the Rondat Valley Central School District and CPL engineers effective March 1st through March 1st of 2027 as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I just have a question of why it's listed for March 1st, 2026. Like, does it need to be backdated for a reason? Or?
But this is our building condition survey, so we have a year to complete it. So they'll start this summer.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Budget vote results for 26-27 school year. Recommend motion that the Board of Education accept the annual budget vote results for May 19th, 2026 in the amount of $82,093,525 as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
First reading and adoption of policy 4765, virtual blended and remote learning. Recommend motion that the Board of Education approve the first reading and adoption of policy 4765 for virtual blended and remote learning as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Any discussion?
Just a discussion on this and all the following papers.
And sorry, Jim, if you wanted to make any comments here, but these were all very minor edits. So, we made these minor edits that were suggested by NISBA. Nothing significant here. And if the board agrees, I would recommend that we collapse the remainder of these and approve them under one motion.
Which numbers?
Sorry? Number 17 is actually quite an overhaul. 2160, the Employee Code of Ethics, and I'd like to have a discussion about that one. It was pulled?
That was what we had talked about before, that I pulled it.
No, I didn't hear that it was pulled. It's here on the agenda.
That's not the update, that's not the amended agenda.
That we were discussing that.
I know, you don't have the amended.
I don't have the amended agenda.
We can get you the updated, they're in the back.
So 1 through 16. Like Chris, through 16.
Yeah, what are the numbers that you have, Chris?
I have in the board agenda, it's 1 through 16.
So will we be doing 18?
11
11
through 16.
Yeah.
Or is that pulled as well? Can I see you?
It's in the back.
Correct.
Yes.
If it's just 11 through 16, I will second Chris's motion. It's true, and I'm also part of policy committee, and it is just very minor edits for those other policies. Jim, if you agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yep, we'll talk about that.
Here's that.
Okay, all those in favor of 11 through 16, did we have a motion?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay, next on the agenda is change order of O&D Electric Company. Recommend a motion that the superintendent of schools and the district architect, the Board of Education of the Rondout Valley Central School District hereby approves a change order to the contract by and between O&D Electric and Rondout Valley Central School District for the 25 capital project as presented.
I'll make the motion. I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Another change order for O&D Electric Corporation. I recommend a motion that the superintendent of schools and district architect, the Board of Education, hereby approves a change order to the contract by and between O&D Electric Company and the Rondout Valley Central School District for the 2025 capital project as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Next on the agenda is a change order for day automation services. Recommend a motion that of the superintendent of schools and the district architect, the Board of Education of the Rondout Valley Central School District approves a change order to the contract by and between day automation services and the Rondout Valley Central School District for the 2025 capital improvement project as presented.
Make a motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Last change order for day automation services. Recommend a motion that the superintendent of schools and the district architect and the Board of Education of the Rondout Valley Central School District approves a change order to the contract by and between day automation services and the Rondout Valley Central School District for the 2025 capital improvement project as presented.
Any discussion?
Just a question. So I know this is a series of change orders, and they're common, obviously, when we have capital projects. But I'm not aware, at least I don't know if I've had an update recently of kind of where we are with our budget for the capital project. Are we on target? Does it look like we are, moving over? Were you going to talk about this in board time? Okay, I'll let you answer it then. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to steal Dean's thunder, but at this part of the project, 1A, we are trending and we are being fiscally responsible, and we are saving money on this part of the project. We are under budget, even with all these change orders.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, public comment. I have here 3 public comments. A reminder to please not share any personal names and a 3-minute time limit. I have first up here Brianna Casey. Yep, the microphones, are right up here, Brianna.
I wrote it this time so I could hopefully not ramble. I wanted to welcome new staff and Brianna Casey, I'm the former board president here. I'm here tonight because I'm deeply concerned about the elimination of the Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services position that was briefly discussed at the last board meeting. This is not a minor staffing adjustment. This position provided district-level leadership and oversight for special ed services for some of our most vulnerable learners. The district has replaced that position with a part-time role, yet when the job posting was released, it included many of the same responsibilities: special education oversight, IEP compliance, staff supervision, parent support, and district-wide program monitoring, while allowing for working remotely part of the time. What concerns me most is not simply the decision itself, it is the lack of public explanation behind it. During the last meeting, I did not hear a public discussion of the analysis that supported this change. I did not hear how the district determined these responsibilities could be effectively managed in a part-time position, what impact this might have on students and their families, and how the district plans to measure whether this change succeeds or fails. I didn't really hear that tonight either. There was no discussion, which is disappointing. I'm also concerned that this decision could ultimately increase costs rather than reduce them. Strong special education leadership is critical to maintaining compliance, supporting staff, addressing family concerns, and developing programs that keep students successfully educated in their home district. If reduced oversight leads to compliance issues, increased disputes, or additional out-of-district placements, the financial consequences could far exceed any savings achieved by eliminating this position. I haven't heard whether that risk was analyzed before this decision was made.
I understand that personnel matters can and should be discussed in executive session, but organizational restructuring, special education leadership, and the delivery of services to students are matters of public interest that deserve public discussion. Students with disabilities depend on strong systems, strong leadership, and strong advocacy. Families navigating special education already face enough challenges. If this decision turns out to be the wrong one, the consequences will not be felt by administrators or board members. They will be felt by students and families. I'm asking the board and superintendent to provide the community with analysis, rationale, and accountability measures that support all of the decisions you make. Transparency is not an obstacle to good governance, it's an essential part of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Julie. Kim Gorney?
Good evening. Yes, I'm Kim Gorney. I am a speech-language pathologist, currently at the intermediate school. I am here tonight to express some of the same concerns that Brianna just mentioned. This is for myself as well as my colleagues. We have grave concerns regarding the restructuring of the PPS department, most of which I heard this evening. I don't think any of us have been privy to how all of this is going to play out and whose responsibilities will fall where. Specifically, we're concerned about the creation of a part-time special education assistant position, which will partially replace the current assistant superintendent of student support services. In my 30-plus year career as a speech pathologist, 19 of those here at Rondout, I have never worked without an administrator dedicated to supporting special education, staff, parents, students. This leadership role and all that it encompasses cannot be piecemealed and added to already full professional workloads. The roles and responsibilities of the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction are already all-encompassing. Adding the vast scope of special education to her plate or anyone else's plate will only mean other programs and needs will be impacted. This just doesn't make any logical sense. Our neighboring districts all have a special ed coordinator or a special ed director, and their programs are not nearly as robust as ours. I am honestly terrified for the future of a respected and thriving special education department and our students. In addition to losing a special education director, we've also lost our liaison positions, one for the special ed teachers and programs, as well as one that was specifically dedicated to related service professionals, which are OTs, PTs, speech pathologists, teachers of visually impaired. There's a whole group of us. These professionals would meet on a regular basis with the assistant superintendent for student support services. They would share our concerns, we would get information back. That is how we all functioned as a group and as a department to know what was happening, how we would stay in compliance with federal, state, and district guidelines. And we're concerned who will listen to us, who will be our voice. Will it be the assistant, who I have also heard could be a remote position? I don't know how that's possible. Will it fall on our assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction, our coordinators who already listen to us and do supervise us? So that was confusing to me. Anytime I'm in a special education CSE meeting, those are our supervisors. They are our administrators who are helping us and directing us through those meetings. They have a full caseload as their own. I could go on and on and on, sorry. I had to reword things when I found more out tonight, so I apologize if I'm just kind of going off script here. After several student-facing positions were on the chopping block, and some of you on the board, thank you, and the community and staff spoke out about the negative impact those cuts would have on our most vulnerable population, those positions were saved. We thank you for listening and respecting us and validating our concerns. But now our department is facing these deeper and potentially more dangerous cuts. Without a true hands-on, full-time, committed leader, myself and my colleagues fear that our well-known and respected special education department, its programs and vital services will be decimated. Our special education population is not declining. The services we provide at Rondout are mandated. They are not arbitrary or expendable. Please show our incredibly dedicated and premier staff and premier parents and students we serve that you are still listening, that we are still respected, and that you truly care about special education at Rondout. Show us that you believe we deserve a voice at the table like every other department does. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Would they be willing, both of them?
Ms. Warney, what you have that you read to us, can you, it was hard a little bit to hear, can you please email that to us so that the board can see everything that you
And
said?
Ms. Casey as well?
Yes, as well as, Brianna, can you do that as well, please, because it looked like you were reading it? Thank you so much. Jess Gray?
Good evening, members of the board, and thank you for serving our community. My name is Jessica Gray. I'm a 25-year veteran teacher and a concerned parent in the Rondout School District. I'm here tonight because our special education department is facing a critical leadership change that will directly harm our students. I need to also now improvise a little bit based on what was shared tonight. You are top-heavy, but what message are you saying what message are you sending saying a superintendent of student support services, basically the person in charge of special education, is not as important as having a superintendent of technology and a separate superintendent of data? While it's incredibly unfortunate that our superintendent of student support services is leaving, it's unfortunately not surprising given the current climate in this district. She's been an exceptional advocate. In the past, she personally helped navigate my own child's programming, while many others had not. Her dedicated, hands-on leadership ensured he got what he needed to succeed. She was one of few who not only listened, but actually followed through with doing what is best for kids. This specific role is far too important to be stripped down in this way and replaced by a mix of people, one of which being an individual who worked part-time and remotely. Special education leadership requires an on-the-ground, constant presence. It requires being physically available to observe classrooms, handle crises, and collaborate face-to-face with teachers and families. Splitting this vital role into a part-time remote gig with other jobs given out here or there means our most vulnerable students will be overlooked and underhelped. How can the assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction perform their own duties on top of overseeing special education? The list you gave earlier: special education, academic intervention services, health services, 504s, universal pre-K, McKinney-Vento, diversity, equity, inclusion, on top of what she currently does. Is she getting a raise for this position that practically doubles their responsibilities? If so, why not put your money towards a good cause and actually hire someone in person and full-time to do the job well, as the previous administrator did, as the students deserve? I've also heard a retiring Rondout administrator could be offered this part-time position. While this candidate may hold the required administrative credentials on paper, she does not possess the right character or track record for this community. She's not a good fit, and she does not look out for the best interest for all children. Again, I know this from personal experiences. This decision is yet another example of the superintendent making choices that are not in the best interest of our district. Placing an ineffective leader into a diluted part-time role compromises the education and well-being of our kids. I urge this board to step in, reject this short-sighted, let's see if it works kind of plan, and demand a full-time, on-site leader who genuinely cares about looking out for every single child, as we eliminate a necessary position that impacts our most vulnerable students. I say it again, whose population is not decreasing. Let me say, and I'm sure it's to save money in the wrong places, I would like to say congratulations to the superintendent on his new contract extension and the yearly 3% raise that it comes with.
Should we do that over?
Can you also please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Superintendent of Schools consent agenda items 1 through 11. Recommend motion that the Board of Education approves the revised consent agenda items 1 through 11 as presented.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This next one is a two-part public board members. make a motion to amend the revised agenda, to revise agenda item 8, section 8, number 1, superintendent contract resolution to read. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Rondout Valley School District hereby approves the superintendent's employment agreement commencing on July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2030, and hereby authorizes the President of the Board of Education to execute the agreement on behalf of the board as presented. So we're voting on the amendment.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I'm sorry, I'm confused about what it says here is when you're reading.
That's what I just amended is what,
But it's not on here.
no, because we just amended it. This came from the attorney, the wording. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Rondout Valley School District hereby approves the superintendent's employment agreement commencing on July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2030, and hereby authorizes the President of the Board of Education to execute the agreement on behalf of the board as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So I just want to state publicly that I highly value the superintendent's leadership and vision for Rondout Valley. However, when voting on a multi-year public contract, my fiduciary duty requires me to look at objective data. I have requested comparative data regarding superintendent contract extension norms within our region. Because I have not yet received that information, I do not feel I have the necessary data to cast an informed vote tonight. Therefore, I will be abstaining from voting strictly based on a lack of complete information.
Thank you.
And I'll also just state that I also highly value Dr. Spadaro and the work he's doing, but I do not support an extension at this time.
So is it an abstain or no?
No.
Thank you. Motion carries. For President update, I want to acknowledge our 2 student board members, Zach and Madison, this year. Thank you so much for being our student representatives and the voice for the students. So thank you so much. I definitely want to acknowledge that. And with that being said, you can kick off board time if you have anything to share.
You can go right up to the mic if you want.
We don't really have much to share besides Regions Week is coming up soon, and this is our last full week of school for the high school, I believe. And senior graduation will be on June 26th at 6 o'clock.
That's kind of it. We have senior prom coming up too, and it's kind of it. We're wrapping school year up. Fine.
Enjoy all those small little lasts. Soak it all in.
Thank you.
Okay, board time. Dean, do you want to start us off?
So I'd like to say that it's been a pleasure serving on the board and on the capital project committee. And I'm happy to say with this last meeting, the 2019 capital project is finally closed, which is great news. Moving on to the 2025 capital, 1A, which we did see all those change orders, is the lockdown project. There were change orders, but I want to say that we are about $500,000 under budget in Phase 1A. Phase 1B, which is various reconstruction work at all the buildings, we're about $430,000 under budget after the bids came through. And then Phase 2, which are the additions and alterations, they're were concerns in the very beginning that we would be over budget with the estimating, but CPL was able to pull some different designs together, and they believe they are going to be within budget, so they're submitting to the SED in July. And then we voted tonight on the CPL for the BCS and master plan, which we voted yes for, so they are moving forward with that. And that is it.
Thanks, Steve. Chris?
Thank you. Yeah, I requested to have the senior tax exemption discussion on the board agenda tonight, but unfortunately Tabitha is not here. I would strongly encourage next year's budget committee to really approach this early on. We did receive an email from a taxpayer to the full board. There was a lot of statistics and data in here pretty much comparing our senior citizens tax exemption to other local districts, and it looks like indeed ours is lower. That being said, I know we approved something the beginning of the year. Okay. So I think if we can just make sure we're staying on top of this, Dr. Spadaro, and make sure we're on par. I really fear for our senior citizens getting taxed out of their homes, those who've been in this area, their whole lives. So I think we need to make this a priority.
Carrie?
There was a high school learning walk. Feels like a really long time ago, but it was just on May 11th. And just a couple of things I wanted to note is I've heard so much about it, but I had never walked in and seen the Caring Cafe, which was amazing. And there's a government class that sort of manages that. There was so much, it was well decorated, there was coffee and tea and food and all of this kind of thing, and faculty offer donations for whatever it is that they take, and then the donations I hear go to the RVEF, and I think last year there was $1,500 donated, but they do all of the setup, the cleanup, the display, that sort of thing. I was also able to see the thrift store I've heard so much about. Which I think is called Take a Gander Treasures. There's a program called STEPS, School to Work and Transitional and Vocational, offered to life skills students. And they learn a lot of skills, they manage the thrift store, they wash, fold, display, they manage checkout and that sort of thing. And I think Ms. Torok had mentioned that at some point they're thinking about opening it up to the public in some way, I think with limited hours or something like that. But it was amazing to see, and there is so much available, including toiletries and that sort of thing. So it was just great to be in there and see that. Also, we haven't had board time since Special Olympics happened, and I just wanted to mention that. I attended that this year. It was my first time, and it was pretty incredible. I know Meg Breran spoke, and she mentioned that the event was really about inclusivity, joy, and perseverance, which I thought was great. She said it shows where every student is valued and belongs is really the value here, and that we are a banner school. We received that award and are considered a Special Olympics, National Unified Champion School. We achieved 10 standards of excellence. And Lee Howard was there and spoke. Apparently she's the director of programming for Special Olympics New York. And I wrote down that she said, in her speech, I wrote down that she said, inclusion is not a slogan, but a lived experience at Rondout. I thought that was great. Also, I got some great seedlings. I'm hoping some other folks here maybe have too. The FFA had their plant sale, tomatoes, peppers, tomatillos, flowers, houseplants, all of that, and it was incredibly well run and really good looking plants, says this farmer. And also, Dr. Spadero, can we mention the farm to school meeting? Is that okay to mention? Okay. We also had another farm to school meeting, so just an update on that. Winston's came, and they are the folks that do our food. We contract with them. They were great and seemed very open to working with RVGA, which stands for Rondout Valley Growers Association, as a supplier. So bringing in basically a percentage of the food, procuring food from local farms in the Hudson Valley. RVGA only works with small farms in the Hudson Valley. Also, there's some upcoming tastings happening right before the end of the school year. And I don't have all of the dates for them, but I do know that there's one in Kerhonkson on Thursday, and then I'm not sure when the one is for Marbletown, but was it today? Maybe. I don't remember. But I think that's great that they're continuing that. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
So while Carrie was at the Special Olympics, I got to spend the day with our intermediate school, our intermediate and junior high band students at Music in the Parks out in Massachusetts, which was another huge success for our band programs in our middle school, which is, to be a part of it is very cool. I also attended the band concert, which was here last week, which was our middle school, both our 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th, and then our 7th and 8th jazz band. And just another shout out to congratulate Jason Clinton, who's retiring after 142 years as our 7th and 8th grade band director, who's done a phenomenal job. I also attended the chorus concert, which was the week before. So just a huge shout out to all of our musical students in the middle school. I also attended for a little while the cornhole tournament that was here the other day. I believe it was a fundraiser for the class of 29. Dean played. I saw it. I unfortunately did not, but my kids did. But it looked like a great time. Had by all. It was a nice day. And the last thing, I'd just like to thank Dean, as a member with Dean on the facilities committee, who's been the chair of the facilities committee for the last few years, to try to keep things in line with our capital projects and things moving forward. So thank you, Dean.
Testing. First, I'd just like to echo the same sentiments that Mr. Schoonmaker had up here with regards to the senior tax exemption discussion. I think it's really important that to kick off our year in July, that we begin to address the inequities that are being shown to our seniors, the neglect of prior boards of education to bring that money amount up to speed has really hurt the seniors. So I want to make sure that in the beginning of the year that we address that. Secondly, I would like to wish the seniors, when they graduate, the best of luck in their future endeavors, whether they're continuing on to college, whether they are going into a trade school or going into a trade or obtaining some kind of job. I just want to wish them the best of luck. And I'd like to wish best of luck to Ms. Torok, all right, for your future position. Good luck to you. And that's all I have. And also, let me also address our 2 new administrators as well. Best of luck to you at Rondout Valley. I'm just busting your chops, but I may have a little bit of an accent, so sometimes it gets caught up. But anyway, yeah, best of luck to both of you as well.
Thank you. Great. Well, curriculum committee, we had that last week, and you basically did my updates for me, so thank you. I am really excited to have a system-wide SEL curriculum and spend more time focusing on developing our students' SEL skills and building up our school culture, our district culture. I also went to the safety committee meeting this week, that was on Monday, and continue to be blown away by the level of detail and commitment to our student safety. I think one of the things that maybe it's okay to share is about the energy drinks, which it's come up all year long. I guess it's a big problem in the middle school and the high school, and there were some decisions around giving principals authority to ban them in their building if they choose. So I think the nurses seemed really happy about that. I also got to go to a WISE presentation a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to another one next week, and would highly recommend that everyone can go to one. I think it's so aligned with all the things that you say we're working towards: PBL, deeper learning, and the opportunity for students to be able to pursue a project. And it's really not even about the outcome or the artifact that they're producing. It was, at least for this student who I know personally, was so much about the journey and just the opportunity to have a mentor who, Nancy's not here anymore, but it was her daughter, Rachel, and be able to share what she's learned with a group of adults and so many students that came to support her is really powerful. So I love that we have that program. And similarly, I got to join my 4th grader on an on-campus field trip. Did you all know that we have hiking trails on this campus? And they're amazing. And it was so cool to see these kids. I mean, some of them felt very outside their comfort zone, and they were literally behind the school, and it was just an amazing opportunity to do hands-on learning, and they incorporated art. They went back and made nature art with all the things they collected, and it was just really fun and great experiential learning. I think that's it. Thank you.
As we know, the RVEF is a very big supporter of our students and many of our programs, and they do fundraising throughout the year to really raise those funds so that they can offer these grants for our students to have these experiences. So just a quick update on some of their big fundraisers coming up. Their big one is the Gander Gala Soiree, and it is scheduled for Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now, and the prices do increase after the 26th of this month. This year, there are 3 honorees. We know 2 of them. One hasn't been revealed yet, but this year they are honoring Debbie Eck, who is a longtime teacher from Kerhonkson who is retiring, and the second honoree is Jason Clinton. And then our 3rd has not been released, so they have not shared the name with me yet, literally, I just don't know it. The event will be at the Crested Hen Farm in Stone Ridge, and it's going to be catered by Provisions. And then the other big event is the All Gander Alumni event, which will be on Saturday, June 27th from 2 to 8 at Rough Cut Brewing. This is for all alumni, and they have 4 alumni, some bands and some musicians that are going to be playing throughout the day. One of them is sitting in the audience right now. It's called Voluntold. But come join. You don't have to be an alumni to join. Again, small donation at the door, but really just hang out with fellow Ganders. So that's from RVEF. On a personal note, I want to thank my family for putting up with me for 6 years doing this. As we all know, time on the board is not easy, and there are weeks that I spend more than 40 hours a week doing this than I do at my job as a teacher. So there's a big commitment, and sometimes I've missed my own kids' events and my own husband's events because I dedicated my time to this, and I wanted to be here. The community voted for me to be here, so I made sure that I was here to the best of my ability. I want to thank my fellow board members, especially those of you that have endured with me for as long as I've been on the board, specifically Chris, who definitely has been somebody that I've learned a lot from, and has been a true leader on this board. I've learned a lot from him. So I want to thank everybody for their support. So now let's wrap this up. Can I get a recommended motion that the Board of Education approve consent agenda items 4 through 8 as presented?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a recommended motion to adjourn the June 9th, 2026 meeting as presented?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Have a good night, everybody.